Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey Jordan, are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see.
But let's see.
Let's see.
Let's see if they're ready.
Good evening,
Good.
beautiful people.
Aye. Yeah, well, I
Welcome
just
to Evening Talks with Just Jordan and Marie. So, how are you, Jordan?
Boy.
It's the phone issue right
Oh
now.
my gosh, I can't believe
The new
it.
phone, you know,
Oh
the new
my
phone.
gosh, oh gosh, oh my days. I'm gonna have to go to the phone shop, you know. Wowzers.
The
All right,
new
cool.
phone. The
Yeah,
new
that's
phone.
mad, that's mad. Yeah. You know what? You gotta smile through the tribulation certain
Definitely.
time, because Jaja, don't know how that was mad. Oh, but no, gosh, I'm kind of, just keeping the one hand over here, just keeping it,
Safe.
just keeping it safe and sound, I'm thinking, Jordan, how did you do that? Well, these things happen,
It's
sometimes.
life.
It is life, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I think now I'm gonna have to get like another kind of case because the thing is, oh, it is a actual, yeah.
Is it the screen protector?
The screen protect. Nah, but the screen protector.
It's broken. Well, it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only the
yeah.
screen
I thought it was a
protector.
screen. Oh, all right, cool.
Let's
Yeah,
give God
yeah.
thanks.
I'm
Hallelujah.
telling you, oh, Clary.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was the actual screen,
It's
Rock
just the screen
stone.
protector.
All right, cool. I've got some more screen protectors at home. Wowzers. All right, cool. Now we can start the show. That was what you
Peace at
call,
last.
yeah, that was a false alarm.
Jordan's back.
Yeah, it was a false alarm. Wow. But you know me, I don't really know much about iPhone and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's all mad. All right, cool. Well, we can move on promptly. We can move on. Yeah, we can move on swiftly as we we can move on. Oh gosh, yeah, Marie.
So,
Go on.
Jordan,
Go on.
how has your week been? Minus the 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, not too bad. Adjusting. Just had the question asked just now from management, and yeah, same things. Yeah, I'm adjusting. But yeah, I'm okay.
So, are you back in the English time or the JA time still?
I think I'm halfway back to the English time. Yeah, I think I'm halfway back because they're currently 6 hours behind, and yeah, I feel like I'm probably 3 hours behind.
So you're catching up.
I'm catching up.
You're getting there.
Getting there. Gradually.
Getting there.
Gradually. Yeah, gradually getting there. So yeah, all good. All good. How are you, Marie? How are you?
I am blessed. Yesterday and today the sun's been out, so I'm like, yeah. Reminds me of being on holiday, seeing blue skies.
Yeah.
So I've had a blessed week so far. I give God thanks. There's nothing to complain about because it always could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm grateful. Have a heart of gratitude today.
That's right.
Yes.
I've got a heart of gratitude too because I think
Definitely.
my posture, it will loosen up in about 10 seconds. You know what it is? It's just like a bit of a delayed reaction
It's a
to
shock.
how grateful I am that it was the actual screen.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay. We got a big show. Yeah,
Yes,
we got a big show.
have.
We got a big show. Every show's a big show in
Yes.
its own right. No two shows are the same. You know, me, Marie, and I talk about the dogs all the time. It's my thing. We always say no two dogs are the same. Don't get me wrong. You can get a lot of dogs that are very, very similar in one way or another. Because if you got a very intelligent dog, you can be like, yeah, man, this one's really intelligent. You celebrate that one and liken it to another one. If one is really silly, you will liken it to another one, you know, that is really silly. So, yeah, of course, no two dogs are the same, no two people are the same, but you can have people who behave in similar ways. Oh, Clary. Oh,
And
Clary.
I must say, just on that, just on that
Oi.
dog subject, I don't like dogs.
Yeah.
However, been working alongside Jordan, I've been seeing dogs and I'm like, oh, isn't he cute? I had to catch myself. I like cats.
But yeah,
I like cats,
yeah,
not dogs.
Yeah.
But, I
It
suppose
started to rub off on you
just a little bit, not too
Yeah,
much.
not too much.
Like from a distance, be like, oh, he's cute.
Yeah,
From a distance.
Yeah, from a distance, not too much.
As long
not
as you
too
don't
much.
get too close,
But
because, yeah.
From episode 1, Marie, I did say that eventually it will start to.
Yeah, as long as they don't get too close. I saw
Yeah,
like
it
one
will
a couple of
start,
days
yeah.
ago and I wasn't impressed because they came up to me. Don't come near to me, dogs.
So what, it was off the lead.
Yes.
Yeah, that's. I don't believe in. Like, if your dog is off the lead, I think you should have it under control where it's not gonna walk up to strangers, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If it's off the lead, it should just be off the lead, minding its business, not
Well, the
going
three
up
I
to
saw
people.
today, they were minding their business, just running around. But I was looking around saying, where's the owner, where's the owner, where's the
Yeah,
owner?
yeah,
And the owner just waved.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
he put them on the list like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah,
Thank you,
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah,
You
nah.
know.
I
But they
don't
were
believe in it.
cute-ish
Ish,
dogs.
ish. Yeah, I don't believe in. Do you know what? It's like letting a. I can tell, Marie. Today we're gonna have a few figures of speech. You know, we're gonna have a few figures of speech for today. But I think letting the dog run wild, you know, and going up to people and doing its own thing without the other person's consent. Oh, Clary.
Yes, consent. Consent.
It's not good. It's not good practice.
And I couldn't
It's
even
not
jump
good
into my
practice.
car because I came out and locked the door.
Yeah. It's
So
not
I was
good
upset
practice.
because my fingers wasn't working that quick because I went into fight
Yeah.
mode.
Yeah.
Like, do I break his neck? Do I run? Do I jump on a fence? Do I jump on a bin? Yeah, no.
For any RSPCA listening, Marie's only hypothetically talking about breaking the dog's neck. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's only a figure of speech, like I just said. A lot of figure of speech we getting on today.
Yes, a figure of speech.
Yeah, but I don't think people should be letting their canines run up to people, without the other person wanting that to happen. As a handler, you need to take control over your dog, and as adults, we need to take control over any kind of animal impulses that we may have on the inside. Oh, Glory. You know what I mean?
just stood still and I just kind of just looked at the owner to say what, and you're going to move these dogs. Then after he moves the dog, he's like, you all right? No, I'm not all right.
No,
No, I'm not. I'm traumatized.
Yeah. Steep. What can I say, Marie? What can I say?
Keep your dogs on the lead when you see me, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
Yeah. And back to the animal impulses, I feel like people should keep their dog on the lead when they see people, because as an adult, as I said, you might want to behave a certain way sometimes, and sometimes you have to rein it in. So for any individual out there who has an inner dog within them, you want to keep your dog on the lead. You want to keep your dog on the lead, because you know what I mean. Running off your dog can get into trouble. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to go out there and then end up breaking your dog's neck.
RSPCA won't get there quickly enough to save it, to rescue it.
Aye. The people must be thinking, what are they talking about? Well, do you know what? We're going to introduce the topic of the show, or the title of the show. The
Not yet.
title. Or you wanna save it?
Let's keep them in a little bit of suspense. But in this show today, Jordan, we would like you guys to interact with us.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
talk
right.
show.
It's a talk show.
So we will have the phone lines open today as well, as well as we have our different social media platforms where you can interact with us as well. But today, don't be shy. Pick up the phone, even if you put your hand over it and disguise your voice, interact with us. Because this show, we want to hear your opinion. So interact with us.
Definitely.
But before we go in, I've got 2 birthdays that I would like to announce today. So the first one is for today, which is for a special young man. I've known him from when he was going to secondary school. He's a very good friend of my son. He's like a son to me as well.
Yeah.
And what do we call him? We call him Red Peas. I think that's the new name they've given to him recently. So I just want to say happy 21st birthday to Red Peas. You know who you are. And may God bless you to see many more years of life. And then there's another birthday. This one is for one of my uncles. My uncle now, Jordan, he is a few years older than me.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
He's a few years older than me.
Yeah.
However, he's like a father figure. He's like a big brother, as well as an uncle, as well as a friend. If I'm going through some stuff and I want to speak and get like a spiritual, biblical aspect, I speak to him, and the encouragement and the power that comes from it. I'm just so grateful and thankful to have him in my life. So I want to say happy birthday for, I think it's for Saturday, for my Uncle Jay. So happy birthday for the weekend. And I know you will be spoiled. And I'm sending you loads of love and kisses, and I love you.
Big him up.
And I am his favorite. I'm his favorite niece. I'm the favorite one.
Yeah,
I am. I think I'm all my uncle's favorites, actually.
After saying such a thing, you saying there'll be no trouble, yeah?
There can't be no trouble. You know, I'm the favorite. Happy birthday, Uncle Jay, on the weekend. So yeah, so we've got Red Peas. But big up his birthday today, and my Uncle Jay for the weekend.
Man, like a red peas in her. Yeah, hey, that is funny.
So yes. So Jordan, would you like to tell them about our topic, the name, the title of our topic today?
Well, the title. Let's start with the title.
Yes, the title.
We'll start with the title.
Yes.
The title of today's episode is Loving You, Loving Me.
Loving you.
There's many ways you can say it. Loving you, loving me. You could just turn it into a whole, like, poem, or you can turn it into a.
Is that a poem coming forth, Jordan?
You can turn it into a few things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But while we are talking about different forms, we're in talk show form. We're in evening talks form. Yeah. We're in interaction form right now, so we want to engage.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So we want to salute the TikTok crew who's listening right now. And we want your engagement. Yeah. That's right. Oh, we got someone, Dainty. I can't see if you got anything else on there, but it says I like it. So you like the topic already.
Thank you.
Big up yourself. We want some more interaction. You know what I mean? And invite your friends. Share the live, and we can
let's engage.
Have
share.
more discussion on this topic here.
Because we're here to empower our communities as individuals all together. So share. So, and then come on.
So with the title, Loving You, Loving Me. Marie, do you want to start to unpack the topic a little bit more so they start to know what Loving You, Loving Me is actually about?
I think we're going to play a song first. Yeah.
I like this, Marie. You're under suspense, You're not giving it to them so easy. Because
we want them to go and share.
Yeah, share up the live. Share up the live.
Yeah, I don't want no one to miss anything.
Yeah.
So as you're sharing, our first song for the evening is by Christopher Martin.
Yep.
I'm a big deal.
Big deal.
And everyone out there who's listening, you are a big deal.
Yep.
Listen to the words as well as enjoying the song.
And
we will go into details about our topic for today after this song.
That's right.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready, though.
Well, let's see.
Martin, I'm telling you, but just loving yourself. Know what I mean? Value yourself, think highly of yourself. Know you're very important. Hashtag, I'm a big deal.
VIP, me and my friend, them a VIP. VIP. Ask anybody about it.
I'm a big deal. Me and my friend, I'm a big deal. Yeah, we're kinda important. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. And my friends are some big deals. Very, very, very important. For real. This has nothing to do with money or fame or vanity. This one is all about self-worth. So big up your chest and stand proud. And don't matter about nobody, no man no more than no man pon this earth. So whether you walk or you a drive car, I tell if you're white or black like tar, me feel good in yourself, you're a star. Push up on the one and tell all the haters I'm a big deal. Me and my friend, I'm a big deal. I'm if you tell you, yeah, we're kinda important. Okay. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. Believe me, my friends are some big deals. Okay. Very, very, very important. For very. For real. It's like you have the Prime Minister, and then you have way. That are the order in a few country. Yes, that are the status of the hierarchy. Ask anybody about it. 4.0 at the grade point average. And we never cheat or copy if you get it. You know you have your dreams and nobody can stop it. Just walk out, bust a blank and say I'm a big deal. Very big deal. My friend, I'm a big deal. Okay now. Yeah, we're kinda important. Very. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. And my friends are some big deals. Very big deal. Very, very, very important. Very now. For real. This has nothing to do with money or fame or vanity. This one is all about self-worth. So big up your chest and stand proud. And don't matter about nobody, no man no more than no man pon this earth. So whether you walk or you a drive car, I tell if you're white or black like tar, me feel good in yourself, you're a star. Push up on the one and tell all the haters I'm a big deal. Me and my friend, I'm a big deal. Yeah, we're kinda important. For real. Oh yeah, I'm a big deal. And my friends are some big deals. Very, very, very important. For real. Martin, I'm telling you, but just loving yourself.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see. So, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So, Jordan, before we get into this, let's give out the studio line number first.
Yeah, let's get into that.
So we have two numbers. So the first one is 07379 529 412. I repeat again. 07379 529 412. So that's our studio line today. So as you know, our topic is loving you, loving me. What does that mean? What does that mean? So let's have a look at. So loving me. How do you love yourself? How do we love ourselves?
How?
And then how important is it to love yourself? Do we actually know what loving ourselves is? Because for me, loving myself is not attached to a person, material things, or even money. It's a bit more deeper within.
Than that. Yeah.
What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I agree. With the last thing you just said, I don't think that loving yourself. Well, no. Let me make it personal. I don't think loving myself is connected to loving someone else, because I believe it's important to love myself independently, and then I can love someone else. That's how I personally view it. I know people have different views, but that's my personal view. So yeah, you won't see me kind of attaching my value of loving myself to someone else, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's me personally. And that goes for me as a single man, as well as me being in a committed relationship or even married. Do you know what I mean? I definitely do believe that we should love ourselves independently, or have the capacity to love yourself independently. I don't think you can truly love someone else if you don't love yourself.
But I wouldn't say it's healthy for an individual, whether you're male or female, to be entering into a romantic relationship that's going to have purpose, destiny, leading to marriage, if you don't know oneself as well as loving yourself. Now, what we're going to have a look at today is, how do you love yourself?
Oh, Clary.
Do you know how to?
Oh, Clary.
Because we're not talking about, oh, well, I'm going to make sure the outside of me is looking on point, however you like to make sure your outside is clothed and looked after. We're talking about internally, dealing with the mind,
Yeah.
your spirit, your thought process. Sometimes we may have to dig a bit deeper and deal with some of the insecurities that we have, the brokenness that we may have. Because if we don't deal with these elements, then what can you bring to the table
Oh, Clary.
when you go into loving somebody else?
You know what? You know what's so deep, yeah? I just said I don't think you can, like, love someone else if you don't love yourself. Well, what I meant was personally, yeah? Me personally. But, coming to think of it, upon observation, I do think a lot of people in society and the world are very good at loving other people and not loving themselves. And then I think a lot of those people end up in compromising relationships or situations where they're overcommitting and they are really, really loving the other person and what the other person is doing and not loving themselves. But I think that's something we're gonna really unpack, a bit more. Because me personally, I think I have to love myself so I can love someone else. You know what I mean? I think that's how it makes sense. I think if I care for me, then I can care for you. Do you know what I mean? I think that's how it goes. Although I can neglect myself a bit. Do you know what I mean? Like my well-being and feelings and stuff like that, and still be considerate to another person. For example, all right, if for example Marie and I have got in a car and we're traveling somewhere, let's say we're driving somewhere and it's 1 hour away, yeah, I might be like, let's say Marie's driving, yeah, and I'll be like, Marie, how are you feeling? Yeah, not too bad. You need to get anything? Need a coffee? You need anything to, drive, to get us to this 1 hour well, the destination that's an hour away. You might be like, yeah, I'm all right. I'm all right. No, Marie, have a coffee. You know what I mean? And then we could stop at like a Tesco and get one of them Costa coffees or something. I don't know. Or stop at a coffee shop. Do you know what I mean? Marie's like, yeah, what? Marie could be like, what about you, Jordan? Nah, I'm all right. I'll be fine. Have you had breakfast? Nah, but I'll be all right. It's a bit of a weird one because sometimes I would just naturally put other people before me like that, and I'll just always say I'll be all right. But it's not really good to do that, if that makes sense. It's not really good to do that. I can have a coffee too. You know what I mean? If I need one, for argument's sake. Let's say I'm driving, yeah, and me and Marie's got this destination to reach to that's an hour away. I'll be like, Marie, do you want a coffee? Yeah, what about you, Jordan? Nah, I'll be all right. Yeah, but you're driving. Nah, I'll be all right. I drive all the time on an empty, like, I'll be fine. it doesn't make sense. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense, but that's just being like considerate, like of the person who you're in company. You know what I mean? You're in company with. I don't know how my English is all janky right now.
He's
you know what I
still
mean?
on the JA flight.
But I'm hoping the listeners are following. You know what I mean? I hope you're getting what I'm saying. I believe it's possible to consider someone else. You know.
But how often in today's society is others considering? How many people are giving, and neglecting self?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are doing that a lot of the time. For the sake of saving what they have, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people will be neglecting themselves, hoping that it's going to help the situation between them and another person.
Or is it the mindset of, because I'm doing so much, he can see or she can see how much I'm into them, how I care for them.
Precisely.
But it has to be mirrored.
Yeah,
when you look in a mirror, if your hair is down, you're going to see your hair is down. It's supposed to be mirroring.
Yeah.
So
you can't drink out of an empty glass. There has to be something in the glass. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, something has to be in there. But a lot of people are drinking from an empty glass about themselves. I'm saying, like, for themselves, like, they need to have something to actually drink. They need something to hydrate themselves. Do you know what I mean? But they won't be hydrating themselves because they'll be topping up the other person's cup. So if you both start and you have a full cup and that person drinks half, and then you got a full one, I mean, and then you pour into them, and then they drink that half again,
and then you just pour in again.
then you're just like, then you got one little tip. You can't hydrate yourself. Like, it's not good. You have to have balance and be considerate of yourself. Do you know what I mean? I definitely do believe that. But in terms of the questions that we just had, let's ask again, Marie. Let's ask them again, because we're getting some interaction on the TikTok there.
So
we
we're looking at
with the
loving me. How do you love yourself? How important is it for you to love yourself? Loving yourself doesn't have to be attached to a person, finance and money. Finance and money is the same thing, but to a person or to material possessions. So interact with us, because myself and Jordan, we have a definition of what loving me is. Let's hear what your views are so we can share with everyone, because you see, in life we can have a particular topic and myself and Jordan can say, we could be on the same level on one accord, but then we can bring a topic to somebody else and we realize that everybody thinks slightly different. So let's share with one another. Let's interact. Let's share some knowledge today.
On how you love yourself. Well, while we are anticipating the phone lines to ring, while we're anticipating some more... Oh, someone... Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to the TikTok.
I just like to say a big shout out to Brown Sugar. Thank you for joining.
Big her up.
Yes.
Big her up. I think she's sharing the live as well.
Yes.
She's sharing the live. Big her up. What was I going to say? Oh, sorry. As I said, while we're anticipating the discussion, via the phone and on the TikTok, we can actually start to talk a little bit about how people love themselves. And I think people love themselves when they look within themselves. They look at themselves, on the exterior, then they look within themselves. If you, for example, are looking really, drained and exhausted and tired and stuff like that, loving yourself might be like, do you know what? I'm going to take 2 days out to rest. Or, whatever you can do. Do you know what? I'm gonna have a good night's sleep tonight. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna go to bed 2 hours early, or whatever it is. You start to do things to start to look after yourself because you love yourself. Do you know what I mean? You're considering your own well-being, and you
start
want
to
to
pour
be
more into yourself. And you might take a different level as well, because if you've just come out of like a relationship, whether it's you've become distant from family, friends, ex-partner, etc., you might have to deal with the level of hurt and pain, and sometimes that is part of loving you. You know, that you've got to deal with those issues of, was I a bit too passive, was I a bit too aggressive, could I have stood up for myself a bit more, could I have done a bit less, should I have, was there things that I missed, even though it was evident that it was there. It's just things you reflect on in order for you to move forward. And as well as that, you might begin to read your Bible more. You might begin to read more in the scriptures of the one who created you, how he has made you. So you start to learn about more of how the reflection, how he sees you.
That's right.
Not how society defines you as a man, as a woman.
That's right.
Because from that aspect, from a spiritual aspect, that helps you to, it does help you spiritually for you to know that, okay, so I'm not just what social media or what the world says I am. This is how God has made me. So taking it from a different perspective, because he's the one who created us.
Definitely. And even on the topic of how important it is, well, we haven't even finished how people love themselves. Let's continue on that a little bit, then we'll get on to how important it is.
So, Jordan, just to say, the reason why we're doing this topic today is because in society that we're living in now, is that everybody's busy going through their day-to-day life. In the work that I do, I meet a lot of people, and you'd be surprised, Jordan, the things that people are going through. And even though they're going through things, it's the impact of what it's doing to them, where it's breaking people in different aspects. Some people are feeling broken, like mentally, emotionally, and not everybody knows or has the resources or the tools to know how to build themselves back up again.
That's right.
So this is why we're sharing this with our beautiful listeners worldwide in our community, because we're here to empower. We're here to help somebody who has gone through something that might be like, okay, I've come out of something now, I need to work on myself, but may not know where to start.
Definitely.
So we're just here not to tell you what to do. We're here to just give you some suggestions of some food for thought to help you on your road to healing, recovery. Because remember, we're all here for a purpose, and there's more within us. So we shouldn't allow what has broken us, crushed us, or what somebody has said about us to define who we are. Let us find who we are so we can shine again.
Definitely. And just to echo and add to what you're saying, Marie, there are plenty of people who are going through things, and a lot of people are going through things with someone, a significant other in their life, and that individual may not be helping the situation. They may be making the situation get worse because of how their behavior is. And as the title is Loving You, Loving Me, we're starting to, consider what effects it has on people when they might be loving you more than they're loving themselves. Do you know what I mean? They might be loving their partner more than they love themselves, but that partner don't love them. Their partner
don't appreciate it.
Or don't appreciate it. That partner might just love themselves and thrive off the love that they're getting from you, giving them all the time. And the benefits,
you're in love with somebody, there's benefits you kind of get from it.
Oh, glory.
The helping out.
Oh, glory.
The encouragement.
Yeah.
I've got your back.
Yeah.
Yeah, bruv, sis, do you have my back?
You have mine.
But sometimes because we're so into somebody, it's like you're not always analysing, has he or she got my back? But we're there investing and pouring in.
You don't always see the signs. You know, you don't always see the signs when folk are starting to change. You know,
Being
folk.
complacent.
Yeah. Folk might enter the relationship looking like they're gonna remain faithful. They're gonna remain, you know, polite and friendly, and as an encourager. And you might not be able to see when they kind of start to
dip.
Yeah, and start
Or
to
the true self comes out.
moonwalk. They start to backpedal on their speech that they gave you, because a lot of the time folk give speeches when they're entering and embarking on a relationship.
But you know what I would say, Jordan? It's just in life, whether you're in a romantic relationship or you're meeting, just friends for the first time. I always say, we wear
Masks.
we wear masks. So yeah, I'm a really nice person. Yeah, da 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 da. And as you get to know someone, it's like little by little fragments from the mask start to drop. At first, you don't always notice it.
No.
Because you're still like, yeah, I'm there with you, da 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 da. But as time goes on, bigger bits of the mask start to drop.
Yeah.
Until
Facts.
you're so far in, you're like, when did you look like that? When did you change?
Oh, Clary.
When did you change? So you really have a stink attitude. Oh, so you're tight. You're mean. I never saw that at the beginning.
Yeah.
But you said you was going to help me out.
Yeah. It's not easy. It's not easy in these streets. It's not easy. And this is why we want to have people start to weigh up how do they love themselves, and how important is it for
What
them
are you
to love
allowing?
themselves.
How long are we allowing things? Because sometimes we could be in different kinds of relationships and we're allowing things. Sometimes you might think, oh, but they're just having a bad time, they get better. But even if you're going for a bad time, that doesn't mean that you should devalue another individual.
No. Not at all. It could be a very selfish trait to have. Yeah, it's not good. Put it this way, Marie and I, we come together on a Thursday evening, and we host evening talks together. Yeah. If Marie is having a bad day, she'll say, Jordan, this happened. I'm like, oh no. And I'll try to give my best efforts for support. Yeah. So we can get through what we need to get through on a personal level, and then for the sake of evening talks. Same with me. I've gone through a bad day. I've had a bad week or whatever. I'm like, Marie, guess what? This happened, that happened. We communicate. You know what I mean? We say what's going on. Yeah, effectively. Yeah, we say what's going on. And then Marie will be like, all right, Jordan, I think this would help. I think this would help. She'll come with a solution. Do you know what I mean? And add value, So with that being said, it's like none of us use what goes on in our personal life as an excuse to then bring the other one down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And not even for me to explode on Jordan. No. Because, yes, I might be frustrated about the situation, for argument's sake, but I should be at a stage in my life where I can be effectively to communicate to Jordan of it's A, B, or C. Once we've dealt with it, well, not really dealt with it, once we've spoken about what I could have been going through personally, then you go on. That doesn't give me a red card to be like, well, I'm just going to, act funny towards Jordan. Oh, I'm not going to speak to him. No, this is not how we deal with things as adults. Remember, the way how we deal with things, they are little children who are watching us.
Yeah.
So if we want them to do better, then we are the example.
Facts.
We are the example.
Facts. We have to lead by good example. It's important to lead by good example. And equally, same thing with me. I can't just blow off on Marie and be like, oh, well, this is going on. And the next minute, like, I'm moving mad. Like, No, like I say, Marie, look, this is going on. I feel affected because of this. I feel affected because of that. Do you know what I mean? You just talk about it, but we can't be using that as an excuse to bring the other person down. Like I could not imagine me having a bad week and then Marie's asking me like about it. I'm telling her, and then I insult her. I can't imagine it. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't make sense to my brain, like, to do that. Like, but some people, and we're, colleagues, if you like, yeah? Some people are sharing their bed with people, yeah? Some people are sharing their bed with people, and then they're also sharing other things like intimacy. Do you know what I mean? They're getting involved in that kind of, dynamic. Do you understand what I'm saying? Their systems are colliding. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Depositing things in.
Oh, Larry, they're depositing things in other people. They're downloading.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Things are going on. And then one person's going through something, and then the other person capitalizes on that and then insults them, like, for their own gain. And then the person who's got insulted, rather than defending themselves and thinking, hang on a minute, I don't deserve that, they're like, yeah, but I love him though. Or I love her though. And then you're just going to tolerate more and more. Do you know what I mean? And then this person's subtracting from you, like, all the time. In one way or another, they're taking your energy, they're taking your time, they're taking your resources. They be using your car, yeah. They be using. Do you know what I mean? They
Distracting
be doing
you from your purpose.
Man,
what you have to be doing for yourself.
that one I think is the most expensive one. I think if someone was wasting my time, with a few things, that's one thing. But if I'm still doing my purpose in the meantime, it's not too bad. If someone's taking my money, I can make more. Do you know what I mean? As annoying or as inconvenient that may be. You see, if someone's distracting me from my purpose, that one's mad. Yeah, that one's mad. Do you understand what I'm saying? I can't then be like, oh yeah, but I love her. Nah,
Yeah, then that's when you have to question.
You got to question yourself. Yeah, man.
What kind of love is that?
What kind of love? Yeah.
What
How are
love
you loving
definition
yourself?
was in what dictionary was that loving?
Yeah.
Please
yeah,
let me know.
Yeah. How are you loving yourself? Because that's when
Yeah.
you think loving yourself can't be that important. If you are stepping away from who God told you to be, yeah, if you know, yeah, and even if you don't know, it's just that you know that you're being mistreated. For example, you're on the road to finding out your purpose. Some people. Do you know what I mean? And then this person's coming to disrupt that. A lot of people disrupt people's purpose because they're threatened by the other person's purpose. They don't want that person to be aware
And
of
sometimes
who they
that
are.
person who comes to distract can see that person's purpose
Oh, Larry.
more than that individual. But instead of saying, do you know what? I can see you going here. You want to come like some stumbling block.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? You have nothing better to do with your time.
Yeah. It's not good. It's not good. It really isn't good. And that is what's going on a lot of the time. So yeah, we want to hear from you. We want to get some more engagement, particularly on this topic, because the trouble is in society right now, we are seeing this kind of behavior
A lot.
on a rise.
It's on a rise.
It's on a rise, and it's affecting more people than you know, and it's even happening more with younger people as well.
And sometimes
that's what's mad as well.
because of where people are coming from in their own personal life, sometimes the red flags are not always easy to detect because of where the individual may be coming from and how the manipulation, if I said it right, Jordan?
Yeah.
is being taken place.
Yeah.
Because you could be standing up for yourself and then all of a sudden it's being turned on to you. And because you're still growing and finding yourself, you can start to question, oh my gosh, was I overthinking? Was I seeing it wrong? No, you probably saw it right.
Yeah.
You probably did see it right.
Yeah.
The first time you probably thought, no, the second time you saw it right. Do not allow someone to play mental games with you.
Yeah.
Every one of us were born with a brain.
Yeah.
The brain is a very powerful tool. So you probably wasn't thinking the wrong thing. It was right. Do not allow someone to make you feel like you're minus dunce, because you're not. You're not.
It's very deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. It's very deep. I feel like when people have a perspective of it's my game, it's my show, what I say goes, you're irrelevant, you're secondary, and they insult people who they, claim to be with.
Or say they love.
Or say they love.
Care.
Or they care about, more importantly. A lot of people kind of like to chuck titles upon that kind of behavior. Some people will say, the person's a psychopath, a sociopath, a narcissist. They might be saying all of these titles, for example. And we're not concentrating on the titles per se, but we're concentrating on the behavior. That's what we're calling out. Because as Maria said many times, a lot of people hide behind titles. Like, okay, someone might have, for example, what one would say is a special need, yeah? They might have a special need, but you can see where some people start to capitalize on the title. And someone might be like, oh, Jordan, you can't say that because they've got such and such a condition. But there are people that I've, met who have got a late diagnosis in their life. And upon finding out that they have been given a title, a diagnosis of XYZ, you see that person capitalizing and manipulating those around them because they're saying, yeah, but I've got blah, blah, blah. Do you understand what I'm saying? And do you know what I mean? But obviously, every case is unique. So I'm not trying to sound insensitive.
That's very true.
But it does happen.
It's
a lot of people do that. And I feel like some people even label other people with something and then give them an excuse and be like, oh yeah, but that blah blah's whatever.
So it's like you're excusing
the behavior.
No.
Because of the title.
Yeah.
No, that's why we're not concentrating on the title. We're concentrating on the behavior.
And you see, as you're saying that, Jordan, a few years ago, I used to work in an after-school club. And there's a young boy, they said, I think he was like in year 5 or 6. And they said, oh, he's got ADHD. I said, okay. I'm not faced with that. Okay. So he comes in on a Monday and he's like, constantly, da-da-da-da-da. I said, what's wrong with you? Oh, I've got ADHD. I said, what did you do on the weekend? I was on the Xbox. And he's just constantly messing about. Not really messing about, just like rocking all over the place. I said, stop. But I've got ADHD. I said, stop and sit down. Do you know, Jordan? The ADHD went for a walk out of school that afternoon.
Oh, glory.
He sat still. So I
still.
said, you know what? That's when I say the titles that people at times likes to wear, it's like you're using it as a uniform of an excuse. Let's stop doing that. We're adults. Let's take ownership for our behaviors, what comes out our mouths. When we can meet anybody on the road, whether it's a personal relationship, romantic, whatever kind of relationship, when you meet someone, your intention. You know whether you genuinely want to know someone or you have a hidden agenda. Stop working brain on people because people are not dunce. Stop doing it. Because you don't understand the background where people are coming from. You don't know if they are fully healed yet or not. Let's stop abusing one another.
It's not fun.
Let's stop.
Serious. It's very
serious. Because the times we're living in right now, the same person that you're using and abusing a few years or even months could be the same person you'll be crying and crawling to fix up and stop. Stop it now. What do you get from breaking and hurting someone? Come on, people. Come on, man. We are adults. If you don't like something, Jordan, I don't like this. All right, cool. Come on.
Facts. What you're saying, Marie, is facts, and we ain't got time to waste.
Nobody has.
Especially when you don't know how much time you have.
Exactly.
Yeah, you don't know how much time you have. You can't be wasting other people's time and expect them to just be okay with it. No. Marie, someone can't come waste my time, you know. No, can't come waste my time. Because, all right, if, for example, I was seeing someone and, you know, we've had a few discussions about, you know, where they want to go in life, where I'd like to go in life and stuff like that. We've had that discussion. But then, you know that what I want to do is important to me, and I'm going to give you enough respect to believe that what you say you want to do is important to you. Do you know what I mean? If that person is demonstrating that what they want to do is important to them, because they're actively doing stuff, they're consistent, you know, to get to their goals, if you like, I got to respect it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to try and derail them. I'm not going to try and, you know, take them off course, off track of what they are doing. And I'd appreciate their equal respect for what I'm doing. I don't have time for anyone to come over and waste my time.
But that just,
and expect it
that's
to
that
be
person.
all
When
okay.
people come and you're wasting someone's time, are you respecting that person? That they got things to do? You know, they may have extended family that they're looking after. They may have children. They could be in a process of studying, building, whatever it could be. And you're coming, listen.
It's messed up. It's messed up. But this is
why?
the kind
Because
of
you don't know
stuff-
what to do with your time, so you want to come waste somebody else's time.
Yeah,
Go and read a book.
Yeah.
I know about time management.
Yeah. This is the kind of thing that, you know, folk are getting involved with. You know what I mean? And
But then it makes another thing is that so when
God
we
damn.
are coming together in, so we're just speaking more from a romantic relationship, Jordan.
Yeah. Cool.
So that from the get-go, it shouldn't be like, okay, this is where I'm going. That's where you're going. These conversations need to be had. We've mentioned this before in previous shows as well.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think when you start to detect that someone is on a quest to waste your time, you then got to start going back to the first opening questions that we came to you with today about how do you love yourself? Yeah. And how important is it for you to love yourself? These are the sorts of questions that you want to start asking, you know, because your time is precious. And Marie, there's a song that is there's a song that's come to my mind, you know, because if we're talking about loving other people, you know, and we're, you know, recognizing that sometimes folks start wasting our time and stuff like that, you then have to ask some questions like, well, how deep is your love?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Larry. Because you got to start thinking, well, how deep is your love? Because if someone really started to, as I said, showcase that they're on a quest to waste my time, I'm not going to think they've got a deep love for me. I'm not going to think, you know, they've got my best interest at heart. Do you know what I mean? No. Because if I'm around people on a day-to-day or, you know, often enough that can see what I'm intending to do or what I'm currently doing, they encourage that. Do you know what I mean? So I can't imagine being with someone who is pulling and subtracting me away from the right thing to do. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't sit well with me, because that's when I'd start asking them, how deep is your love? You know, how deep is your love?
And on that note, we are going to have BG's song, How Deep Is Your Love?
I don't know if they're ready though.
I know your eyes in the morning sun. I feel you touch me in the pouring rain. And the moment that you wander far from me, I wanna feel you in my arms again. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest doubt. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think I care for you when you know down inside that I really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. And you come to me on a summer breeze, keep me warm in your love, then you softly leave. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. Deep is your love? How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down when they all should.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready though.
Well, let's see. A lovely song by the Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love?
Big tune, big tune,
How
big
deep
tune,
is
big
your
tune.
love? I think some of these
Oi.
songs that were made,
Mm.
you know, we're like, yeah, we sing along to, yeah. Are we really listening to
Yeah.
the words?
Yeah.
How deep is your love?
Yeah, I don't think people are listening. Yeah, I don't know. They sing it like because you think, oh, it's in a song, it's in a film, it's a soundtrack or whatever. You heard it on the radio or something like that. But do they really sit down and take the words in? You know? Oh, got a text. Let me just address this. They want the link to the show.
So, I will give out the studio number again. which is 07379 529 412. I repeat again, 07379 529 412. Guys, don't be shy. Come on.
Be shy.
Interact with us. Whether you want to give us a comment and we can read out. Don't be afraid to call in. We are called a talk show. Let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's edify one another. Do not be shy.
Don't be shy. We've got we wanna, you know what it is? We wanna hear
Your views,
your views,
your
you know, we
opinions.
wanna hear your views and your opinions.
There's not a right or wrong answer. We just got different opinions. We've got different values or morals, or it's just everything's different. But that's how we learn from each other. What's the saying? Teach one.
Each one teach one.
Yeah, each one teach one. So that's what we're here to learn and to teach from each other. Learn from each other.
Yeah, definitely. So off the back of the last song, I wanted to kind of, you know, ask people to what extent do they love their partner, because I feel like with the behaviors, we've been seeing recently, you know, a lot of people, you know, come up to me and share things with me. People come up to Marie and share things with Marie. Like Marie said, she meets people on a daily basis, you know, and folk just approach her and just start saying things, and you know, they might want her advice, they might want a listening ear, you know, at a time like this, you know. So it happens, you know, we know that it's something that happens, and some people are going through some stuff, you know, some people are going through some stuff that is very uncomfortable, you know, with their partners. People who, like I said, they spend a lot of time with different times on the 24-hour clock. You know, they spend together, they share the same bed, you know. Some of these people
They're sharing the same room, and it's not two single beds.
It's not two single beds, you know. They're sharing intimacy, you know. Downloading and depositing is going on, you know, with their systems, you know, with the systems and stuff like that. You know, some people are in business together. Do you know what I mean? Some people have children together. Do you know what I mean? Some people have certain, you know, investments within their relationship, if you like, and it can be very one-sided when you're amongst some selfish characters, you know, and some people who want to take a lot of advantage, and
because for example, one person in the relationship could be very giving, thoughtful, so the other person in the relationship is just the taker, which could leave the other person feeling neglected, overlooked at times. Precisely.
So it's not an easy time. So we want to ask the question: to what extent do you love your partner? Because we started to speak about, you know, your love for yourself, you know, and what you do to demonstrate love for yourself. You know, some people are going to the gym. Some people, as Marie said, you know, they're reading their Bible, they're doing certain things, you know, they're loving themselves, they're trying to understand more about the value of themselves. But some people claim that they love themselves, but then the extent that they love their partner is starting to outweigh how much they love themselves, Larry, because they're starting to love their partner where they're overlooking a lot of behaviors that are very unhealthy, you know.
And I would like to know, why do we overlook behaviors? Is it because nobody wants to be by themselves? I understand that. But would you put up with behaviors that, you know, deep down you're not happy with, you're not willing to tolerate.
We've got a TikTok message that's coming from FK. FK, I appreciate your interaction.
Thank you, FK.
Would you like to elaborate on this point here? And I hope you're typing right now. It says you can't love yourself and love someone. That is deep. We want to hear more. What do you mean by that?
Yeah.
You can't love yourself and love someone. I personally believe that you can. With balance.
Yes.
With the right balance.
Yes.
I believe healthy balance. I
Yeah.
believe you can love yourself and love someone. But FK begs to differ.
Here we go.
I would like to come to the box. I don't know what you mean by that. But
FK, we
yeah.
do have a studio number. I can give it out again. It is 07379 529 412. If you would like to call in to expand on your comments, that would be excellent. But thank you for interacting with us.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We appreciate it because it's a different view to what I have. We can't sit here and just talk about our views.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we're having evening talks. We want to talk to...
We want to interact with others. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd want to... Oh, he said you can send it after. Okay, so maybe you can tell us when you're ready or when I finish. Okay, cool. All right, so you let us know, FK, when you're ready, and then we can give you the number again. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. But we've got an interesting view there. I'm anticipating how.
I'm quite intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a one or the other thing because it seems like, I could be wrong, FK, but it seems like you're saying you have to decide who you're gonna love if you're in a relationship, because you're either gonna love yourself or you're gonna love your partner.
But you know what, Jordan? Let's wait.
Let's wait. Yeah, let's wait.
I'm quite intrigued for this. This is going to be very interesting.
I want to hear what direction this guy
is
down. I want to hear where it's going down. But yeah. Oh, hang on. It says, to be honest with you, if you can't find love in you, how can you balance it with another person? Okay, so you know what, FK? It'll be great if when you're ready, you let us know. Then we can
tell you the number again so you can expand. Because I would like you to really break this down to help us to understand as well as the listeners as well. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
So
while we're anticipating FK, let's look into again, you know, the question of to what extent do you love your partner? Because, you know, some people who are in quote unquote
relationships,
and supposed to be
happy
that's what I'm looking for. Happy, respectable,
loving,
respectful relationships. Some parties are here taking
liberties.
Bad up. Like they're taking bad up.
Bad my food.
Yeah.
Oh, bad girl.
Yeah. Some folk are going through some things, you know. Folk are accusing the other half of cheating and stuff like that. Meanwhile, they've got no evidence, you know. Folk are out here, you know, having children outside of the relationship, and then when the other party are saying, do you know what, I think we should call it a day here, the person who's had the child outside the relationship is saying, well, what you can do is you can go off and be a hoe. That's what you can go off and do. Yeah. But meanwhile, remember, that person isn't the one that's had the child outside the relationship.
That's like a little mind game thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like you're guilty and it's like you got the guilt all inside. So you're trying to deflect that on the other person who said, you know, I'm tired of your rubbish.
Yeah.
Nah, that's not good. That's not healthy.
Yeah.
MK's FK
Yeah.
has sent a message. I love my partner 100, but all relationships will not be perfect, definitely. So I understand when you said balance.
So yeah, I think they're gonna message in at some point. Right, we've got someone that has sent a text in saying, "I'm listening, but for the topic at hand now, I don't know what to say." Okay, so this person actually has had some experiences of meeting someone, having a liking for them, and the liking is mutual, and then eventually the other party starts to show some signs, Larry.
So
starting
are they
to
showing signs of a shade of crazy?
of a shade of crazy.
Oh,
yeah, they start
wow.
showing signs of a shade of crazy, Larry. And
Shade of
then
crazy.
that person, didn't quite detect what was going on because
the mask was up.
the mask was up.
It didn't start to fall down yet.
It didn't start to fall down yet, and it was masked very well because it was packaged, with a bow and some nice wrapping paper and stuff like that. Larry, the person saying stop it. Do you know what? Let me give this person the studio number.
Yes.
They're calling anonymous. Yeah, they're calling anonymous, and they can start to give us some insight of what happens sometimes to folk when you buy the packaging, Larry,
The false package.
you don't always understand the product, Larry. So yeah, we're gonna get this individual on and then see if they can give us.
And do you know what, Jordan? I think, when you meet somebody, it's just like, if I met you today and say, yeah, Jordan, I don't know, I used to work as a teacher. You're going to think, well, yeah, she used to be a teacher. Why would you think I'm lying?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
and it's just, you meet someone, so you're taking what they say to you and how they behave at face value.
Yeah.
Then you're just like, bruv, sis,
Yeah.
you're a shade of crazy.
Yeah,
Couldn't you just be like normal?
You're
What's
a shade
going on?
of crazy. You're a shade
What's
of
going
crazy.
on?
Yeah, and look, let me put it out there as well to the YouTube, to the TikTok, to the phone lines, everyone who's listening, Facebook, wherever we're connecting right now. I am not saying that you can know exactly what you're getting when you enter a relationship. I'm not saying that because that is not the case. You can't just be like, all right, let's say, for example, you're buying a second-hand car. Yeah, for example, you buy the car, the seller is giving you a description of it. Yeah, allegedly it's supposed to be this or it's supposed to be that. Yeah, you buy the car, sold as seen. Yeah, you've departed with your cash, and you
All
drive
you really
away.
need to do is go and put more petrol in it.
Basically, that's what
Yeah.
you're believing that you
Yeah.
need to do. Just put petrol in, just that fuel. Yeah. And then you come to realize down the line that, the ad wasn't as accurate. Do you know what I mean? But, it's a risk that you take. You might buy a car that, they say, oh yeah, it's got to just change that or just give it a service or whatever. You give the car that service and the car's good to you for 20 years. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that you meet a person and you know exactly what they're about. No, I'm not saying that. Okay, message just come through. Is it WhatsApp only? No, I'll say no. Call normally.
So we have our caller coming through. Another interesting call.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying that you can know, but what I'm saying is sometimes when the signs start to unfold, let's say, for example, I've met a young lady. I'm like, do you know what? This person seems to be good. Yeah. And, Larry, Let's take this phone call.
Let's take this call.
We'll get back to me after. Oh, do we go? Oh, can we connect it? Oh, okay. Or should we call? We should get them to call back when it's connected. Oh.
All right. Good evening, caller. Thanks for calling in.
Good evening. How are you both today?
We are great, thanks. Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
So, caller, you're calling anonymous, and you're on Just Call Radio, live on Just Call Radio. We're just connecting you up right now, so that everyone can hear you loud and clear. So, while we're just doing that, we're just gonna put it back out there. Oh,
sorry, caller, could you just call us back?
Yeah, could you give us a
please?
call back, please? It looks
Thank
like
you.
the phone has just cut out.
Hello.
Okay, all right, cool. What we're gonna do, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna keep you close to the mic, yeah. So we're just gonna do it that way for now. So caller, you're calling anonymous. Can you just turn the radio down, please?
I don't have the radio on. I've just got you on loudspeaker.
Oh right, okay. Now, yeah, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you now. Okay, so upon the topic of meeting someone and liking the person, and how things are going, etc. And then eventually starting to see some signs, that were a bit unhealthy. Could you give us a bit of an insight? I mean, the topic for the title for tonight's show is Loving You, Loving Me. So we want to ask you.
You loving me, that's the title.
The title, is Loving You, Loving Me. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, one second. 1 second. Just bear with us 1 second.
No problem.
Oh, there we are.
we
We've
can
got
hear
you.
you
We can
now.
hear you live and loud.
Yeah,
we can hear you live and loud in the studio.
Okay.
So, So we're just getting the levels right. So perfect. So we can hear you now. So the title is Loving You, Loving Me. So we want to, in essence, ask you, how much were you loving yourself and how much were you loving the individual? Because once you entered the relationship and stuff like that, and things started to progress, what sorts of questions did you have when you had to start weighing up, how much are you paying attention to yourself and how much are you paying attention to the other party at a time like this? Because folk had good costumes and they were able to design the situation in a certain type of way. So if you can unpack it for us, give us the background and unpack it. Let's go.
Okay, well, the relationship was very short. It was only 6 months. And I'd say, in terms of the title and the topic of the show today, Loving You, Loving Me, I'd say I was loving the idea of the individual, of him. So in a sense, like, I really liked him, but in terms of and I had love for him, but that's like, I won't say I was in love with him. Not to say that you can't fall in love within, say, a 6-month period, but I'd say, I mean, in terms of like, I had love for him, in terms of like how you have love for anyone that you care about, especially someone that you're in a relationship with. To answer your question in terms of the ratio and like how how much I love myself compared to him, I'd say, oh gosh, yeah, oh gosh, maybe 20% myself. I love myself 20%. Him, the idea of him, 80%.
Okay.
So it's very, very, it's a massive jump. I won't even say half and half.
Just to give us a bit of background, what sort of things was going on in your life at the time?
For you to love
for you
yourself,
to
like
love
the
yourself,
20%.
20%, loving yourself 20%. That's a lot below 50.
Yeah.
In terms of in the relationship, I'd say that, but externally, I was doing well for myself. I was at university, in my second year of university. I was working part-time in a retail store, like just to make money while I was studying. And at the time I was young. I was 20 going on 21. I mean, I'm still young now, but I mean, I was younger then. But yeah, I was 20, so I was quite young, but I met him just after I left my first relationship. And then I literally thought, okay, like, because of the idea of him, I mean, he was a working professional, a young guy as well, working for a very good company, a very good corporate company at that. So I think I loved the idea of him rather than the individual himself, like and everything that he done to me, basically, you know. Yeah, and it took years of healing to get through.
Right. So you just came out of a relationship. So how
Do you
soon?
think you were
Yeah.
Do you think you
Go on
was
for it.
quite healed from your previous relationship before you
Yeah,
entered into this one?
that's what I was going. Yeah.
Okay.
Not enough.
Okay.
Because that was considered, that was my first relationship, and I'd say like that was my first love, and I would put the title love on that. That was my first love.
Okay.
And then, but the reason why well, that first relationship ended, I think, because we weren't compatible anymore. But in terms, like, there was nothing major that had happened for the relationship to end. We just wasn't compatible anymore.
Okay.
And then it could have been. I'm quite good with dates, with remembering dates. So I give it was literally 3 months. It was 3 months after, and then I got into that relationship.
Okay.
Yes, it's quite close. It's quite
It was
close.
very close.
Yeah, it's quite close. Quite close. So leaving the first relationship and how you felt and stuff like that. How were you feeling? How much love would you say you was giving yourself, or how much did you love yourself? What percentage would you say you loved yourself in that time, like after that relationship?
After the relationship ended.
Yeah, after the first relationship ended.
Oh, oh gosh, because it was such a small time frame, 3 months. So I feel like loving myself, it was quite high. I'd say above 70%.
Oh, so you loved yourself then. You loved yourself. That's decent enough.
I think with the caller, I think the relationship that she's talking about, I think is the idea of what is it? Would you say is the idea of what it could develop
Of what
into?
it could have been. Yeah, of what it could have been.
Yeah,
definitely.
because sometimes us as women, we can meet someone, and when we see how it could be, it's like our minds have already. I've heard different like podcasters say that sometimes us as women, we marry the idea of that person before we get to see who this person
who
is.
they are.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of us women are very guilty of that.
Yes, we
and then
are.
we will stay in it because you might want to you see a picture perfect, like on the exterior, rather than looking at what's happening internally. You think about, oh, this is a good look on the outside.
Yes.
And that's exactly what it looked like. And then until certain signs that I was showing, and you know, certain people around me, in terms of like whether it's close family members or friends, they started to see certain signs in me, and they were like, this is not right. And then I started to get the questions.
Yeah, so that's where we're at now. We want to find out the questions. So from you know, meeting this person fairly recently after your first love, and then you know, dating the person, and indulging in the idea of, you know, the essence of where this can go. Yeah.
Yeah.
We want to know, you know, how did it start? How did he woo you? You know, what kind of things did he say? Because ultimately, you know, on Just Cool Radio, we are for the community, and we want to help, you know, people in our community. And this is the purpose of this call, is to edify the community and give them some insight to say, you know what, this happened, you know, you might be able to save a person from, you know, loving themselves 70% plus down to loving themselves 20, and then loving the other person 80%. You know, this is the kind of thing we want to raise some awareness to, especially for the females who may start, you know, marrying the idea of the potential of where something
I think that's
can
what
go.
it is. It's the potential. And you see, as a woman, every
Yeah.
woman wants to be with a man who is, you know, standing for something successful, isn't
Of
it?
course.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't want someone, you know, that's,
Oh,
you know, just on
No,
the
you
different
don't.
side of the tracks. We don't want that. So it's like, yeah, you know, for argument's sake, he could be a businessman. I'm a businesswoman. Yeah, we could be a power couple together.
Power, yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that's what you got in
And
your
that's
mind.
exactly it.
Yeah, not realizing, bruv, he's a shade of crazy.
A shade of crazy. Hell
Yeah.
glory.
This one was like not even just a shade, it was like 10 different shades of crazy.
So how did it start from, you know, being
Okay,
wooed and
so
stuff, and then what started to happen? What were the Give us the chronological order of how, you know, it started, and it was amazing, and you know, you want to get to know the person more, spend more time. What did they start doing? What did they start saying? And then, you know, when did it start to have, you know, a big imbalance, you know, like a seesaw, one up, one down?
okay, so well, I'm going back a few years now, so I have to kind of get my mind back there. But uh, it started with dates, of course. Like where I'd say, you know, a lot of relationships start. So it started with dates, and I mean, he was quite, when I say well off, not just because of the line of work he was in. Like as I said, he worked for a big corporate company, but his parents were also quite well off too. So I'd say silver spoon, and yeah, he was like kind of, yeah, he was like, he had a silver spoon, and but the thing is with me, I'm not a very materialistic person. Don't get me wrong, I like nice things, but I'm not, you know, ruled by money or the glitz and the glam, for example. So although he was quite well off, that didn't phase me. But and I feel like because it didn't phase me, he tried even more in a way to, I don't know, persuade me with all those nice stuff. But it was like nice restaurants. It started off as nice restaurants. And then in terms of what I thought was getting to know him, I don't know if he was lying to me, but he wasn't saying anything to deter me from getting to know, from like spending more time with him. And then I noticed, funny enough, I don't, I, to be fair, I actually don't know. In terms of conversation, it was just like normal conversation that you'd ask someone, like just, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, like to make me think of like, okay, like that's a bit of a, you know, that's ringing alarm bells, for example. I didn't actually, in terms of our conversation, there was nothing of the sort of that. But it was initially. But funny enough, I restarted, when I say I think when I got the phone I'm using now, the phone I have now, I had to do something, but it like backed up all my chats from when I was in uni, like of going back 2014, 2015. And then I actually came across this individual's number, and I scrolled right to the top, and I think this was literally only last year. Imagine, this was only last year this happened. I scrolled right to the top of the chat, and that's when I saw the signs for myself, because obviously this is like many years out of the relationship and moved on and everything. But when I scrolled right to the top of the chat, it was like that's the first time I saw what I was in back then as an outsider. Although I was the one going through it at the time, that's the first time my eyes was opened in terms of the conversations that we were having. So I remember I was in Jamaica at the time, and it was my uncle's one of my uncle had a milestone birthday, and I was in Jamaica at the time, and I remember he said to me, make sure you call me before you get on the plane, before you get on the flight.
Is that going to Jamaica or
this was on the way back to the UK now. So this
okay.
was, I was in Jamaica and this was on the way back to the UK. So he said to me, make sure you call me before you get on the flight. And this is just like one example of a red flag that I noticed.
And how long have you been speaking to the individual at this point?
This was really early. So it's
well, was he going to
to
pick you up on the other side? Is that why he said you must call him or text him?
Sorry, say that again.
I said, was he going to pick you up on the other side?
No, he wasn't even going to meet me at the airport.
Okay.
I think there was already family here. I can't remember how I got back from the airport, but it wasn't him. I remember it wasn't him.
It's a time frame.
Right, so the time frame was, let's say, 4 weeks.
Okay.
So that is really
early.
Yeah. Really early.
I think that's when you're still supposed to be on your best behavior, right?
Exactly.
Honeymoon.
Yeah.
So this was 4 weeks. So he said, make sure you call me before you get on the flight. Yeah, back to the UK. So I said, okay, I will. So said, so done. I tried. The phone went straight into voicemail. In terms of like when I was trying to get through to him, his phone was going into voicemail. So there was like no rings. Then when I got back to the UK, your data comes back on and everything, all the messages are rolling through. I got a message from him basically saying, like, I'm paraphrasing here, but it basically said, I'm really disappointed in you. How can you not call me before you get on the flight and all this kind of stuff?
Hold on. Yeah. Is this your dad? Sorry, I'm disappointed in you.
I'm disappointed. Yeah,
is he all right? What did he lick his head on? Some English breeze. Is he all right? I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, disappointed. He used the word disappointed. He said, I'm disappointed in you. How can you not call me before you get on the plane back to the UK? Blah, 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 blah. and then so I said, I tried to call multiple times, to be fair. Then he turned around and said that I'm lying. And I think I even showed him. I don't remember if he actually asked to see my call log, but I sent it to him anyway. I was like, look, see, the proof's right here. I tried to call you. Then he was just like, that doesn't mean anything. So automatically, now that I'm out of that relationship and I can see exactly what he was doing. So he was first he was saying he's disappointed in me. So let's start there. And secondly, he's calling me a liar for the fact that I never. So when I sent it to him, he's there saying that it didn't mean anything when I showed him the proof. So that's when I was
I just want to know when he became your father. I didn't know so that you was, this supposed to be someone you're getting to know, and he's actually like your father. Is he all right?
Yeah.
Is he all right?
And then so I think that was for me. That was like the first little. Well, as I said, I only found this in the WhatsApp chat last year. So I probably wouldn't even remember that had I not looked back on the chat. But in terms of vividly remembering the first sign, I would say that was one of my sisters. She brought it to my attention, and that was over. He had bought me, like, he had taken me shopping because Christmas was obviously was round the corner. He had taken me like a bit of he'd taken me food shopping. I got 2 packs of biscuits. I remember, and then my sister, she came into my house, and then I said, oh, I think she said, oh, how many packs of biscuits did you buy? She said, I forgot to buy them. And I was like, oh, I got more than one. So she was like, oh, let me take one. And I remember I quickly tried to shove it under her jacket, and I was like, don't let him see, don't let him see. She was like, it's a pack of biscuits. What's your problem, kind of thing? She was like, what's the big deal? And I feel like but then is it in denial, naive? I don't know. It was just like, my sister was just a bit like, what's the big deal? It's a pack of biscuits. Like, so what if he sees, kind of thing? But then I was kind of downplaying it like it was nothing in a way, but it stood out to me. So I feel like that's the first sign that I saw in myself where I knew things were a bit, shaky. Yeah.
I think sometimes when as a woman, when you're in these relationships, I think sometimes there is a bit of denial because you're like, is he really like this? Like, because he wasn't like that at the beginning. Like, it's like is he really like this? Is that you start to question it.
We're only
until
4
you start
weeks in.
seeing,
We're only 4 weeks in.
Yeah, and it's too early for it to be like, no.
Yeah.
Did he just do that? So
yeah,
I do get it, because sometimes you're like, really?
yeah. It was like 4 or 5 weeks in at this point, and so it was really early on. But then things got from bad to worse, like absolute worse, and rapidly as well, because I said the relationship was only 6 months. But again, just like you love the idea of the person and what picture perfect look this could be.
So are you painting the picture alone, or is he painting the picture too, Hoglary?
Oh, he's painting the picture too.
Hoglary.
Oh, wow.
So what kind of thing is he saying? How can he just paint the picture? I mean, is he Picasso? Like, how's he painting this picture?
Again, the nice restaurants, you dress up and look good together.
Like the ideal couple, the ideal power couple.
Yeah, people complimenting him, saying, oh, he's handsome, you're pretty, oh, nice couple, kind of thing. And then that kind of boosts your, I guess for both parties, it boosts your ego a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
So all right, cool. So you've picked up the signs, he's painting the pictures and stuff like that. What sort of things is he saying? Like, you already picked up signs that this doesn't make sense. The he's trying to outweigh the bad behavior by doing these expensive restaurants and outings and food shopping and all this kind of stuff. What kind of things is he saying to make you think, you know what, I've had a bad month number 1, I'm gonna go into bad month number 2 because it's not gonna be that bad? So what kind of things is he saying?
Before, it's like, because it was so early, it's a bit of denial, like, no, you can't be really doing that.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he's saying, I'm asking, what is he
saying?
saying?
If, like,
you're
right,
seeing what's going on.
You're
saying that to yourself, but I'm saying, what's he saying to make you think, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, this is gonna work. This is gonna be good. You look good together, etc.
I think the fact that okay, I used to live in so at the time when I was in the relationship, I used to live in a council. I used to live in I was under the council's housing, and then he used to I guess, oh gosh, he used to say things like, look at where you live kind of thing. So then, because remember I was saying, because he grew up in a nice house, you know, mum and dad married.
So he's trying to look down on you, to devalue
Yeah,
you.
yes.
But who is he living with at the time?
His parents as well. He's living with
Oh,
his
hold on.
parents.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh, Glary.
Hold on.
Oh, Glary.
He has the audacity
Yeah,
to be like, well, look what you're living. And you
yeah.
living with your mum. Bruv, go and sit down. Go and sit down. How dare
Yeah.
you?
Yeah.
You never pay no rent, no mortgage, and you have the
Yeah,
audacity
real
to say, look
snob.
where you're living.
Yeah, real life snob. But again, it's not even a house that he's actually purchased himself. But yeah, just snobbery.
Look
But
where
yeah,
you
so
live.
he used to
Look where
say,
you live.
yeah, so like look where that's it, yeah. So he was like, oh, like, you know, look where you live, and then but he was saying it obviously in a belittling way, but then he was trying to smooth it over, like he's certain words he would use, because his vocabulary was very large. Um, yeah, well educated,
So he would
very
use
like very
words to
well
make you
spoken.
like
Yeah,
you wouldn't understand.
yes, yeah. So, but again, remember, not to say that, you know, because I went to university, I know every single word under the sun, but at the same time, I'm not uneducated as well.
Yeah.
So when he was coming with all these fancy words and things like that, I'm
Yeah, I
thinking,
think he
you're not
made them up. You know, I
impressing
think a
anyone.
lot of them make up these words, you know, to make us look like we're stupid. Some of the words they come out with, you know what it means because the context they're using it.
He's saying it in.
But
Yeah.
I believe he made it up in a case. He said, yeah, well, I'm going to use this word today to try and make it feel away. No, bruv, because it's not in the dictionary or even, it's not even on Google. It's not on Google.
Yeah. But yeah, he's coming with all these words like, as I said, like, so yeah, he'd come with all these words like but he was saying like words that I'm gonna take you out of like the whole council living
the ghetto
ways and stuff like that. Yeah,
take you out the ghetto.
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
One of those rappers' songs, isn't it? Yeah, take you out of ghetto, we'll build up in the hill.
Yeah.
Got a plan. Got a plan.
But as I said, he's doing it, so it's like he's being offensive, but then he's doing it in a subtle way. I always say, like, you know, sometimes you could have people who are subtly racist. He was subtly
prejudiced.
Rude. Yeah, prejudiced, rude. Yeah.
Patronizing.
Yeah, there was like, I'd say that's where it kind of started in terms of things he was saying.
So you see, sorry to cut you, he said like indirectly or directly in a subtle way, like, oh, look at this. I mean, look where you live. Like, I'm going to change all of this. Like, I'm going to take you out of this place. I mean, this place is a dump. Like, look at it. Like, oh, I don't want to bring children up here. I mean, do you? Like,
and I forgot he lives in Buckingham Palace. Sorry.
Basically.
We forgot.
Basically. So with all of that being said and stuff like that, because it's true, you do have an ambition to, you know, move out of the council place where you lived at the time. You're thinking, you know what, I do want to get out, but, you know, being with him, partnering with him, you know, it'll make it easier, quicker, and we will get out of here. But at that moment in time, do you feel like him saying this kind of stuff and then, you know, coming from where he's coming from, you're starting to agree with what he's saying? To an extent.
Do you know what? I think this was actually kind of touching on my next point, because I'm not naturally, and you know what? He mentioned this to me as well. As he was actually getting to know me, he would actually say this to me he said this to me on a few occasions. He was like, "You're not very subservient, are you? Or you're not very submissive, are you?"
To what?
And
like, is he all right?
Yeah.
What does he want?
He used to say that.
Does he want you to be like, whatever you like?
Yeah.
Whatever this is not like. Coming to America, bruv. Are you all right?
Bark like a dog.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, gosh, yeah. not very subservient.
Yeah, he used to say that to me. You're not very subservient, are you? You're not very submissive, are you?
Are you?
And I'm
I
Are
like,
you?
think
Are
before
you?
he
Because
came on every date with our listener,
yeah,
our caller,
yeah.
I believe you. He said, you know, I'm going to create some words today.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have these ones today because I know she won't know what I'm talking about because I don't know either.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You're not very submissive, are you?
yeah. But so what I was saying was that I'm quite an independent person. Not to say I don't rely on anyone else for anything, because I mean we all need help sometimes.
Mm.
But like on a daily basis, I'm quite independent, and I think where he saw that, although there was this, you know, this girl who lived in a council place, she um I didn't lean on him for anything. I didn't actually need him for anything. And I just
I think that's
got,
what he
I think,
wanted. I think
yes,
he'd
he
wanted
wanted
you
the
to
challenge.
start leaning on him, you know, for
Yeah, and I was
everything.
gonna say that
Oh,
because you
could
know
I
what?
have some money? I need some clothes. Can
Yeah,
you drive
and
me
I'm
up
not
the
like that.
wall? You know, all the
I
foolishness.
remember I just got my first car at the time as well.
Mm.
Um, studying, working part time. I'm doing okay for a 21-year-old. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
Or a 20-year
Um,
old.
yeah, 20. Yeah, I was 20 going on 21. So I was, yeah, but at the time, yeah, I hadn't turned 21 yet. So yeah, for a 20-year-old, yeah, I was actually doing, okay for myself.
Uni, working a couple jobs and driving.
Yeah. And then again, as I said, I didn't need him. I didn't lean on him or need him for anything. He was more so, when you get into a relationship anyway, the person you're with is supposed to be an additional, a
Mm.
bonus, and
Mm.
add to your life as you are to them.
Mm.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Mm.
You probably feel like you're carrying a child at that point if it's as you said, if it's not balanced.
Mm. Mm.
Um, but yeah, at the time, so and I think what it was for him, or anything that he did say to me that I didn't like, I clapped back. I was very much quick with my responses,
Mm.
and I made it be known that I didn't like what you just said. So I didn't ever display any signs of fear in him. Yeah, I didn't display, because you know what, it was a very emotionally and verbal abusive relationship.
Mm.
But I believe that if I didn't leave when I did, it probably would have got to a physical state,
Mm.
a physical level. And actually believe that because the arguments that we did have, he'd punch things around us, whether it be in the
Oh, so
car,
he's
So
whether
got
he
it,
start
anger.
he
He's
s-
got anger
he
issues.
started sowing
yeah,
seeds. He started sowing seeds.
started sowing
Okay.
seeds, yeah. But although he was displaying these signs, I never showed to him, and especially to his face, I never displayed any signs of fear.
Yeah, but he started to show who he is.
He started to show who he is
Yeah.
exactly. But although I didn't show signs of fear, it was still very detrimental to my spirit, because that's
Mm.
what started to break.
Mm.
Because obviously it becomes draining. I'm only human. It was very draining. It was tiring. I was living this day in, day out. And
Mm.
to do that for 6 months,
It's
obviously
draining.
it grew progressively, but to do it day in, day out for 6 months, I then started to, my character and who my family, my friends knew me as,
Mm.
that person started to wither away.
Mm. Mm.
Um but yeah, I think I'm sorry, I was actually getting to something, but I kind of lost where I was. I think it's
Well,
because I was saying that I wasn't displaying any signs of fear, and he liked the challenge. And I feel like because he knew I would, um like when
Stand
I
up
say
to
the
him.
challenge, yeah, I would
Yeah.
stand up to him,
Challenge
yeah,
him back.
I would challenge him back. I don't know if it was something that I don't know, he thrived off, he liked or didn't like, and so it made him take it up a few notches. I don't know, but he definitely took up a few notches.
so he wanted to keep taking his aggression, his patronizing behavior, all of this stuff. He wanted to take it up a few notches. So basically, he's taking it up a few notches, and your spirit's breaking. So you're starting to love him more than you're loving yourself, and then you're not realizing what's happening, and people are talking to you at the time, and you're not quite seeing what they're saying, are you?
No. Mm.
So this is it.
Um,
So it's very subtle how the whole thing happened. It was
Yeah.
a disguise. Like you went from, wow, I love the idea of this, to, the guy's constantly
It's
shouting
like
and
he's
punching.
slowly
Yeah,
pulling the
he's
rug.
pulling. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Within
pulling.
no time, it's like the rug's
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So all right, cool. We need to be a bit prompt with time, and obviously
Yeah.
we start to understand that it progressed, and the manipulation was very, very dangerous,
Mm.
etc. I get it. Can you just give like a little word of advice? And wait, remember you said at the beginning it took years to heal from 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
How
the
how
crazy
how
it's
how,
thing.
how many
emotional.
how many years do you reckon it took, to heal from?
To give you my complete honesty, six 6 month relationship took 6 years of healing.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
So he took it
wow,
up many notches then.
He took
Many
it up
notch
many notches.
many notches.
wow.
And
So
and yeah, go on, sorry.
no, and that's someone who's 20 turning 21.
Yeah,
6 years later, like, that's a long time. That
it
is a
is.
very long time to
Because
actually feel healed
do
from
you
the
know what it
damage.
was as well? You speak like you can I mean I went through counseling regarding that relationship. Um and there's a lot of forgiveness as well for myself. So and it took years of forgiveness of forgiving him, forgiving myself for letting me slip or like, fall away and not being true to who I know, who I really am. Um,
And that happens because
I'm
when you're trying to, you know, it's like give the benefit of the doubt. It's like you're losing yourself. So you're like, oh my gosh, like how?
yeah,
Like that's not me. I wouldn't allow
yeah,
someone to talk to me like that. Or you start to like because you know that's not you would put up with nobody else.
yeah, no.
No boy. As I just come back from Jamaica, everything that they were saying, no boy. Yeah, they don't want no one chatting to them. Yeah, we're not
Yeah.
afraid of no man, no man. Yeah, no boy. Yeah, they're not having anything. They're
And
not
do you know
tolerating anything
the
like
funny
that.
thing is, sorry, do you know the funny thing is, I have seen this individual twice within within a number of within a year.
Within a
Um,
year, you've seen him where? Like, where?
in my working area.
Did he see you?
No.
So how did you feel when
Um,
you saw him?
and it was the fact that it was in my working area twice, which makes me think that he may work in my working area too.
Hmm.
Because like how coincidental is that? Um, but sorry, did you just ask me a question? Sorry.
No. So how did you
Yeah,
feel
wait,
when you? I
how
said,
did
how
it
did you
me
feel
feel?
when you saw
Oh,
him? Yeah.
the first time was initial shock. It was like, oh my gosh, because I haven't seen this individual in a number of years. And this is the person that well, first of all, let me take ownership and acceptance that I allowed to change my life. So that it was a big shock the first time I saw him, and then the second time I saw him, he didn't see me again. The second time I saw him, I had more of a settling or calming feeling. It was still a shock, but not
It
as
wasn't like the first
not
time.
yeah, it wasn't like the first time at all. The first time, I remember I called my sister straight away, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just saw him." And then she was like, "Where?" And I was like, "Literally outside my building where I work." Um, and then and then the second time I saw him, was when I was on my way to work, like literally one bus stop away from work. So I definitely believe that he works in the same area as me.
Yeah, it's a very serious situation, in the sense that, I mean, at least you're healed from it now. It's taken 6 years, you
Yeah.
know, and
But the key thing is that she's healed.
that you're
Some
healed
people
now.
Yeah.
don't heal.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's it.
precisely. It's better you saw him now when you've healed rather than bumping into him in the raw
Exactly.
state of the healing process, and the next minute you want to change job and all this kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's like you
You
start
know, you
running
start
away.
running away and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, you know,
No, I
because of
honestly
that.
feel like if we were to bump into each other, like where eye contact is made, I'd definitely be able to face him if there were to be any words exchanged. Who knows, there might not be, but if there were to be any words exchanged, I definitely believe that I can, you know, deal with it and face it head on.
Well, I'm glad that you're healed from it. However,
Thank you.
if he does approach you
Oh,
and wants to say anything to you, all you do, go in your handbag and go, breath mint, bye. Because we got nothing else to say. We don't.
Nothing else.
Or you could do what my son does, one tone. He will see you, look right through you. You could be in his face. He can't see you. Bye. Yeah, he doesn't deserve that.
The dialogue.
Unless he's coming to acknowledge, take accountability.
Yes.
But if he's not, we have nothing to say. Have a lovely day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are really pushed for time.
Yes.
And we want to really thank you for your call
Thank
and
you so much for
sharing
calling and
everything
sharing
with
with
us.
us.
But we just want you to just leave a word to the community and the globe, because Just Cool Radio is a global station. We're streaming live around the world. We've got listeners in many different countries. So for anyone who's listening in, what would you say to the male who is treating, or not to the male, the person,
The person.
just
the
general,
person,
general.
the
Because
person,
it could be
men
male
go
or female
through-
that's going
go through
through
it
it.
too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the person who is, being ill-treated, and the person who is the offender. You know, what would you say to both parties? I'm seeing that it's taken you 6 years to heal as well. You know, what would you say to both parties? Start with
If
one.
you're
You
on the
pick one.
receiving end,
Yeah, if you're on the
if you're on
receiving
the
end, yeah.
receiving end, do not give up. And I say that because I went through some very dark thoughts, and that was during the relationship and after, especially after I came out of that relationship, because it ended terribly. I'd say don't give up. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and speak to people. If you're on the receiving end, speak to someone, because you can't go through that alone. I don't actually think anyone has the willpower maybe to do it themselves, like to get themselves out of that situation without any form of help, even just from one person. So if you're on the receiving end, I'd say don't give up and seek help. And if you are the person, what would I call them? if you're the one mistreating, the other person, oh, what would I say to them? I don't know.
Knowing that they're on a quest, remember, knowing that they're on a quest to make
They're on a
people be
mission. Yeah, they're on a quest.
subservient,
I think they need to get
to make them be
counselling
subservient,
or get
and
some help.
they want people to be,
But the thing is,
wasting
when they're in
years
that
of their life.
when they're in that mindset, they don't actually know that they need help. So you can't even tell them to seek help. You can't you can't even tell them that, because it's a mindset that they're in.
And they're always right, and you're always wrong.
And they're always right, you're always wrong. That is a very good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before.
Well, you just got asked on Just Cool Radio. But I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. That's what we always say.
Yeah.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry. So we want to, try and leave some wisdom, some gems, with, our audience, but if you don't have the words yet, that's fine. Just let us know. But even if there is one thought that you'd have, even if it's not a word that you'd say to them, but
Stop.
you'd maybe
I
say,
feel like it's just a big stop sign. I feel like that's the only word that comes to my head is stop. Yeah.
in capitals.
Capitals, literally stop.
And in
Like
red.
a big
See,
road sign
can't
where
miss
you
it.
see the
The
word
stop
stop.
sign.
Yeah, that's literally what I see in my head. And the stop sign is red and white. So if you see that, where people like to say, the terminology now, red flags, that is the red sign that you need to see is stop.
The stop sign.
Stop sign. Literally. Yeah, because other than that, there's no other way to get through to the person. Yeah.
Well, caller, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
sharing.
for your time and thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Thank you for calling in and
I
sharing with
actually
us.
this was my first radio call in.
You done really well. You done really
yeah,
well.
Really well.
Thank you.
Especially
So
talking about such a personal,
if there is
topic.
a part 2, then I can probably, delve a bit more into some
I think
of
we will
the
do a part 2
stories.
because we had someone on the TikTok that wanted to call in. So I think we should do a part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a part 2, I'd be interested in calling in and maybe delve into the stories a bit more. Or anyone else that may be interested in some of the stories that, actually experience.
Because ultimately we're challenging the behavior, like we said.
Yeah.
We are not we're not really labeling people saying this person's a narcissist, this person's
It's
that.
the behavior.
It's the behavior.
Yes,
It's a spirit. We're calling out the behavior, and we are trying to rescue our community from the bondage and the strangling and the strongholds that they are in when in these kind of relationships, when considering the title loving you, loving me, and then we look at the ratio, we look at the percentages, and seeing that a young lady who is 20 driving her own car, got a few part-time jobs at university, got a whole life ahead of her, starts to reduce the percentage of love that she has for herself.
Such a positive
way. And then now loving
and then
yourself down to
20%.
And then I'm sure remember the question was, what percentage were you at when you entered the relationship? That's what they done in the first 4 weeks, reduce you down to 20%. I'm sure if he took it up more notches,
it should be within a year.
There would have been nothing left.
There would have been nothing left. So then you hate yourself. And then that's when the thoughts start coming in about, should you be here anymore and stuff like that.
But
you
where
start
he was saying,
like,
she should be more submissive, then she would be.
Yeah.
Because she'd have lost all her value for herself.
Because she said her spirit was starting to break. And then people starting to recognize. And then I'm sure you're not really displaying how bad this is to people who actually love you either. So it's a very dark trap, that comes in. And then remember, it's the idea. You're starting to fall in love with the idea of something, you know what I mean? You're not even sure yet, but people are out here selling you dreams because, they are packaged with a certain wrapping paper and a certain bow.
The inside they're damaged, they're molding.
Yeah. Asbestos.
Well, thank you, caller.
Yeah.
You're most welcome. Have a good evening.
You too.
We shall. Thank you so much for your call.
Take care.
And have a blessed evening.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So thank you, listeners, for joining us on Evening Talks. Yep. I think, Jordan, we're going to have to continue with this one.
Yeah.
I think there's more to unpack.
Yeah, there's more to unpack,
I still wanted to hear what FK wanted to expand on. So maybe next week we can actually, FK, if you join us next week.
Yeah, please.
And then we can, call in and expand on what you were saying. And this is very interesting. I think this is what we need to be hearing.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
I give God thanks that our caller, despite it took her 6 years, she has overcome.
That's right.
So that shows that no matter how hard it can be and how it does break, you still can overcome.
So don't give up. That was her word.
Yeah, don't give up.
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. Yeah.
So, once again, thank you for joining us on Evening Talks with myself, Marie, and Just Jordan.
That's right.
Have a blessed weekend, and we will see you next week for part 2 on Loving Me and Loving You.
Yeah, the mic's on. Marie, are you ready?
Hey, Jordan. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I don't know if they're ready, though.
Well, let's see.